Hi, my name is Brian Bettis, and I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you and learning with you this semester. A little bit about me. So, my name is Brian, and I currently serve as the principal of Bethel School, which is a very small rural school in the mountains of North Carolina. Bethel is a pre K through eighth grade school. We serve about 135 students, so we are a very small community school. We have one class per grade with very small class sizes. And so we have a great family atmosphere here at Bethel and some amazing students and a great community. Just a little bit more about me and my journey. I was one of those people that always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I always had great respect for my teachers and the work that they did. And then as a high school student, when looking for careers, I decided I wanted to be a high school history teacher. And that's because of one of my teachers that I had. Mr. Brown was a phenomenal U.S. history teacher, and I wanted to be the next Mr. Brown. And so he inspired me to pursue the teaching career. But then, and a high school English teacher gave us an assignment to bring our favorite book to class to share with our classmates. And so I brought Helen Palmer's A Fish Out of Water. And I brought this book because that's the first book that I remember reading as a child. I had read it so many times, I had memorized the text, and I could turn the pages and tell that story and read the words. And so a very special book to me. So I carried that to class to share with my classmates. And on the way out, the teacher said, "You're going to be an elementary school teacher." And I said, "Oh, no, I'm going to teach high school history. Guys don't teach elementary school. And I'm going to teach history and maybe coach baseball and all that. So, no, I'm not interested in being an elementary school teacher." Well, her telling me that just kind of rang in my head for a couple of years. And as I became older and in the junior and senior year of high school, I got very involved with the children's choir and children's programs at my church. And so through that experience, really found out that, you know what, I enjoy working with small children. I like working with little people. And so that changed my career path, and I decided to major in elementary education. And so I attended Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina for undergrad and majored in elementary education. Then, in an internship experience right before student teaching, I had a professor that said, "I'm putting you in a kindergarten class at Bethel School." And I said, "No, no, no, I'm not teaching kindergarten. I will teach anything but kindergarten. I'm not tying shoes, wiping noses all day. Please put me somewhere else, anywhere else." Well, she said, "I really think you'll like it. I want you to try it and stick it out." And I said, "No, no." Well, she made me stick it out. And I remember after the first day of that internship, I get back to my apartment and I said, "I survived a day in kindergarten. I think I'll go back tomorrow." And so I went back to the internship experience. And through that internship, I fell in love with kindergarten and was able to do student teaching with kindergarten, and actually started my teaching career and did student teaching at the school that I went to as a child, which was a neat experience. But once I began my teaching career, I started as a third grade teacher and then very quickly transitioned back to kindergarten. And most of my time as a classroom teacher was spent as a kindergarten teacher. And so that's certainly my passion, working for with early elementary students, and could teach kindergarten for my entire career and be just happy. But I had a mentor that said, "Brian, you should think about being a curriculum coordinator." And at that time, I had returned to Appalachian State in an off campus program for my master's in elementary education, because I was going to teach for 34 years or whatever. And also had worked to obtain national board certification during that time. But hearing Gina say, "You should be a curriculum coordinator," again kind of stood out in my mind. And so applied for a job, just not thinking I would get it, not really wanting it, because again, I was happy teaching the young children. But was hired for the position and served as a curriculum coordinator for 5 years. And that experience just transformed my career path, because I grew to be very passionate about leading professional development, particularly with mathematics instruction and best practices for math. And through that leading professional development, was able to travel along the East Coast to do some PD, but then also got connected and served as an adjunct instructor at a community college, and then at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And then also during that time, serving as the curriculum coordinator, a principal friend said, I think you need to go back and get your school administration degree. And I, no, thank you. I don't want to be in administration. Well, went back and got an add-on in school administration from Appalachian State again, and then was hired to serve as an assistant principal. And I did that for 2 years while I worked on my EDS degree from Appalachian State. And then a friend called and said, Bethel School needs a principal. I know how you loved that school when you were in college. They need a principal. And I was, again, no, I don't want to be a principal. If anything, I want to go back and teach kindergarten. But I applied for that position because of that unique experience that I had as an intern. And so I was hired for that position and was able to return back to kind of where this whole journey started. And I'm currently in my fifth year as principal at Bethel School. During that time, decided to attend East Tennessee State for the EDD program, and I'm currently in my last semester of coursework in that program. So that's kind of my educational journey. Certainly love where I am now and can't dream of being a principal anywhere else. And love my school and love the students I get to work with every day. But outside of school, I'm very involved in my church. I'm in the children's and music ministries at a church, both off the mountain at my home church, but then also getting connected with a church here in Boone. Also, very passionate about working in summer camps. And so you'll see some pictures here from some of our summer camps, whether that's taking kids from church to a camp or really for about the past 20 years, I have been involved with camps for children with medical needs. And so for about 15 years, I volunteered at a camp in Maryland for children with cancer. And then the past probably 5 or 6 years, have volunteered at the Victory Junction camp here in North Carolina for children with lots of medical needs. And so certainly that is something that I enjoy doing and get a lot of just a lot of good things from volunteering at the summer camps and providing opportunities for children that they might not have due to their medical issues and things going on. So, but living in the mountains of North Carolina, I certainly love to hike. We've got some great trails around here and some beautiful areas here in Boone. And I'm a huge Appalachian State football fan. So on Saturdays, you can find me at football stadium cheering on the Mountaineers. And so that's a little bit about me. Look forward to learning about all of you. And hopefully we will see you soon in class. Have a great evening.